Martin Luther King Jr. was a leader for civil rights in the United States. He is known for his work to achieve equal rights for all people, especially Black Americans. He believed in using peaceful, nonviolent methods to create social and legal change. His work was important and helped to change many laws and ideas in the country. He dedicated his life to the principles of equality and justice. Because of his efforts, he became one of the most significant figures of the 20th century, and his message continues to influence people all over the world. He was a Baptist minister who used his role to guide and inspire others. His speeches and writings explained his beliefs in a clear and powerful way. He traveled across the country to organize protests and speak to large crowds. He asked people to stand up against unfair laws, but to do so without using violence. Martin Luther King Jr. was born on January 15, 1929, in Atlanta, Georgia. He was born into a family active in the community and the church. His father, Martin Luther King Sr., was the pastor of the Ebenezer Baptist Church. His mother, Alberta Williams King, was a former school teacher. He grew up in Sweet Auburn, a center for Black culture and business in Atlanta. From a young age, he saw the effects of segregation. He learned he could not play with white friends as he got older because of the color of his skin. He attended segregated public schools that often had fewer resources. He was a very smart student and skipped 2 grades in high school. At Booker T. Washington High School, he joined the debate team and developed his public speaking. At 15, he entered Morehouse College, where faith, family, and community shaped his sense of purpose. After graduating from Morehouse in 1948, he chose the ministry, following his father and grandfather. He believed that being a pastor was a way to serve people directly. He moved to Pennsylvania to attend Crozer Theological Seminary and excelled in his studies. He studied theology and philosophy and explored nonviolent resistance. He learned from Mahatma Gandhi that nonviolence could actively confront injustice. This became a core part of his philosophy. He pursued a doctorate at Boston University. In Boston, he met Coretta Scott. They shared a commitment to social justice and married in 1953. In 1955, he earned his PhD. He had options, but chose to return to the South. In 1954, he became pastor at Dexter Avenue Baptist Church in Montgomery, Alabama. Montgomery had strict segregation laws in the 1950s, including on city buses. Black passengers were required to sit in the back and give up seats if the front filled. On December 1, 1955, Rosa Parks refused to surrender her seat. Her arrest led Black leaders to call for a one-day bus boycott. The response was overwhelming. Buses ran nearly empty. Leaders formed the Montgomery Improvement Association and chose Dr. King as president. He spoke at mass meetings, urging unity, courage, and nonviolence. The boycott lasted 381 days, with carpools, long walks, and mutual support. In November 1956, the Supreme Court ruled bus segregation unconstitutional. The victory was a turning point for the movement and for Dr. King's role as a national leader. After Montgomery, leaders formed the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, or SCLC, in 1957. Dr. King was elected its first president. Rooted in Black churches, the SCLC used moral authority and organizing power to lead nonviolent protest. It trained people in nonviolent direct action, marches, sit-ins, and boycotts. The goal was to create a crisis that forced negotiation for change. The SCLC coordinated with local groups, traveling widely to support campaigns. It focused on desegregating schools, libraries, and lunch counters, and on securing voting rights. Dr. King gave speeches, wrote articles, met with political leaders, and kept nonviolence at the forefront. He believed peaceful protest would win national support and reveal the injustice the movement opposed. In 1963, the SCLC joined local activists in Birmingham, one of the most segregated cities in America. They staged sit-ins, marched, and boycotted downtown businesses. Authorities responded with force and arrested hundreds, including Dr. King. In jail, he wrote the Letter from Birmingham Jail, defending direct action and urgency. Students joined the marches as police used fire hoses and dogs against peaceful protesters. Images reached homes across the nation and the world, shifting public opinion. Under pressure, city leaders agreed to desegregate facilities. It was a difficult but important victory. That August, more than 250,000 people gathered in Washington, D.C. for jobs and freedom. There, Dr. King delivered his "I Have a Dream" speech. He envisioned a future where people were judged by character, not skin color. Leadership came with great personal risk. He became a target for those who opposed equality. His home was bombed more than once. Threats were constant. He refused to stop, believing the cause outweighed personal danger. He was arrested in Montgomery, Albany, and Birmingham. Arrests exposed unjust laws. The FBI monitored him, tapped phones, and tried to discredit him during the Cold War era. He balanced public demands with his life as a husband and father. Constant travel, speeches, and stress weighed heavily on him. He emphasized peace and discipline, asking followers to endure suffering without retaliation. In his later years, he spoke more about economic justice. He argued that true equality required confronting poverty, unemployment, low wages, and poor housing. He planned the Poor People's Campaign to bring thousands to Washington to demand action. The goals included jobs programs, higher minimum wages, and more affordable housing. He became a vocal critic of the Vietnam War, calling it morally wrong and harmful at home. He said resources should fight poverty and improve American cities. He noted many soldiers were poor and from minority groups. Some allies disagreed, but he felt a moral duty to speak. He believed nonviolence must guide both domestic policy and foreign policy, linking war, violence, and poverty. In the spring of 1968, Dr. King traveled to Memphis to support striking sanitation workers. They sought better pay and safer conditions. He spoke about challenges ahead and his faith in the future. The next day, on April 4th, he stood on the balcony of his room. He was shot, rushed to a hospital, and died shortly after at age 39. The news sent shockwaves across the nation and the world. People grieved. Some cities saw unrest. Leaders worldwide paid tribute. In Atlanta, his body was carried on a simple wooden farm cart pulled by 2 mules, symbolizing his work for the poor. He was laid to rest near Alberta Baptist Church. The laws he fought for transformed American society. His nonviolent philosophy inspires movements worldwide.